Welcome to the ESE Files. BB and CK in here. Today we just finished watching Bad Boys. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Bad Boys number 4. We were actually pretty excited going into this. We grew up with the franchise Bad Boys 1, 2. We watched the first two. I believe we watched them in theaters way back in the day.
I can't remember. The second one, I like the first one. Like I gotta watch the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Like the second one, gotta watch the third one.
All right.
And now here we are. Number 4.
Yes, sir.
Number 4.
And you know what? This one has been getting some weird reviews, like some really good, some really bad. We're going to give you our honest opinions, our thoughts, what we thought of the movie. No BS. We are old school, so we're probably going to favor it a little bit. But this movie is definitely not perfect. It has some missteps here and there. So let's get into it.
Let's do it. Let's start with my opinion, actually. First off, let me say, the movie was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun ride, a lot of action, comedy. Pretty much what you would expect from a Bad Boys movie.
Right.
If you like the originals, you'll more than likely like this one. One thing I noticed was different was the characters, actually. To be honest with you, they look much older, obviously. There's still like cool chemistry, though. I don't understand some of the chemistry going on. Mm-hmm. But it just felt a tiny bit different, though. Like they didn't have the quickness that they used to have in the other ones before. That makes sense?
Okay, like they're physically slower.
Yeah. Which obviously comes with age, of course.
Mm-hmm.
So, but aside from that, the movie was actually entertaining. The plot was pretty generic, to be honest with you. Okay. I kind of heard that plot in other movies as well. Aside from that, the action and the comedy was actually good, and it kept me interested, very entertained. I liked it.
Yeah, I really liked how they kind of leaned into the age of both characters, Mike Lowry and Marcus. And Marcus's like age and reminding us that they are mortal. They can get hurt. They can die. They kind of felt like superheroes in the first 3. First 2 for sure. 3, yeah, they're still superheroes. They're basically indestructible. And here you kind of see them be more human. They can get hurt. And maybe they leaned into it a little late in their lives because they're what, like 50?
I think they actually mentioned that they're in the 50s.
So yeah, because Mike Lowry, he's getting anxiety attacks, and I thought that was kind of weird because like they touched on it, but then they're like, yeah, it's not a thing. Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing. Oh yeah, no, it's a thing.
Going back and forth with it, like,
right?
Something is nothing. But yeah, I actually did notice that as well. It happened a few times. They don't really go very into depth with it, just to show certain times when he is experiencing that.
And then with Marcus, with his character, he had a near-death experience. He had a neardeath experience, and all of a sudden he had a vision. He's not religious, but he's like, spiritual, I guess you can say. And I thought it was kind of a weird aspect to bring into Bad Boys. Like, it's different. So, it did have its moments. It was comedic. It was funny. But it was kind of weird, I thought, to bring that into the Bad Boys franchise.
I can actually agree. That did stand out to me a little bit as well. Mm-hmm. Honestly, I didn't like that, actually, to be honest with you. Okay. That's one thing I didn't really like because they focused too much on it. It just felt kind of weird to me. Yeah, I will admit, though, it did get me to laugh a few times, though, with some of the stuff he said and tried to do and stuff like that. So that was pretty funny, but it just felt out of place a little bit to me.
Let's just circle back around to the plot. You mentioned the plot a little bit. It was actually, I thought it was kind of a throwback, kind of sort of, to like the first one, the first Bad Boys, even the first 2, I would say, because those are pretty simple, generic, straightforward storylines. They're not too complex. It's got the buddy cop aspect. Some event happens and then they got to go fix it and save the day. And that's kind of the whole story. Yeah. And the third one, like, for comparison purposes, I felt like the story, they try to go really deep, like into the past. And for the most part, it was good, but it slowed down the action, I felt like, in the third one. And this one, once the movie gets rolling, it doesn't stop.
Right. In the very beginning, it was a little slow. But once they get to that shootout on the plane, from that point, it picked up pretty well. And it kept going and going and going. Yeah. And it did have a couple down moments, but to me, it didn't really affect them. I was like, oh, okay, it should be over. Can't come to something more fun. It was actually engaging as well. Yeah. So even though they were down parts, I still liked them. Kept the action going too, so perfect.
Yeah, just like you said, the first 15, 20 minutes, they're kind of like reminding you who the characters are and introducing new characters and familiar faces. And it was fine. I thought it was funny enough to, like you said, I wasn't bored. But it was kind of like, nothing's really happening. No action scenes, right? But once it got going, it was nonstop. It was entertaining. I was laughing throughout the whole thing. They have really damn good chemistry.
Yeah.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith.
Yeah, that's not gonna go away. That was pretty cool. One thing I gotta mention, and it might be a spoiler. Hopefully, y'all see it before you hear this. But my favorite scene throughout the whole movie.
Oh, I know what it is.
Had to be. You probably know this one. Had to be Reggie.
Reggie.
Yes. That was
yes.
the best scene to me in the movie.
Yes.
The whole freaking movie.
Oh, okay. No spoiler. But
Unexpected, but awesome.
It was awesome. It was
surprising, dude. Very
nice. And it led to another Reggie scene towards the end, like the final scene of the movie. Ends with Reggie, and it's just like, yes, Reggie.
Yep.
He's a
can't give too much away, but it's awesome.
Yeah, and it kind of shows like his character growth. Like he's not a main character, but it shows from the first movie where he was a kid and now he's an adult and he's involved with the family. Like there's character growth there, you know?
Yeah, he's really got into the family, pretty solid now. But yeah, that scene was just, to me, it was the best scene to me. It was awesome.
I just got out of jail and I ain't going back. I ain't going back. What's wrong with you? You acting all scared. You ain't never seen a gun before?
Like, stop pointing the gun.
Well, maybe you should summarize the plot real quick.
From what I got, it was basically, it starts almost where the third one left off, kind of, after the captain gets killed. But yeah, it pretty much takes place from there. And they were pretty much framing him for, I think it was the drug trafficking, money laundering, drug trafficking, something like that. Mm. And of course, they know that he didn't really do it, so he's being framed. And basically, they're trying to find the person who framed him, pretty much, right, and get all the evidence they need to show that, hey, our captain's legit. He didn't do anything. He was being framed, and just goes from there. Just getting clues, detective work, action scenes, chasing, shooting, killing, stabbing, blood splatter, jelly bean splatter. You'll get that when you see it.
Which I find pretty much Martin Lawrence throughout the whole thing. Man is hilarious, dude. Like they're playing
funny in that movie.
They're playing into his age, and obviously he's a little, he's a few sizes bigger, and a lot of us older generation guys here, we can kind of relate. We used to be young and thin and sexy and hot. And I mean, we're still that, but with a little extra and
extra
sexy. But him, like the cravings that he was, like he wanted Skittles and he wanted sodas and chips and stuff, like it's hilarious. I kind of like related to that. So
I actually have cravings for when I want sweets too. Mm-hmm. Oh, now I want sweets. Damn it. Don't even on my mind. Now I want sweets.
What'd you think about Will Smith's performance? Like as
I
returning?
Liked it.
Yeah.
I didn't really see much of a difference, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I still enjoyed it. It was fun. He still had the same, kind of badass attitude. Every now and then that PTS thing would sneak in on him. Mm-hmm. But when that didn't happen, he seemed to be pretty much the same.
Yeah, he was on it. I mean, he's Will Smith here. You know what to expect with Will Smith. He brings it. The guy did a good job. He reprised the role pretty damn well. He did a good job.
I do have to mention one thing. It had kind of related to the whole, the slap incident that happened. I think there's a scene in there where I think they're kind of like getting him back in a way. Yeah. Because it was perfect timing. And the fact that it happened to him, he didn't do it to somebody else. It happened back to him. So I think there was a way of kind of like sneaking that in there just to get him back.
Yeah.
Which I thought was funny.
But yeah, I thought it was the exact same thing. It was pretty good. It was funny.
Yeah, I thought that really made me laugh, actually. And we went on the D-Block seats, right? I've been on it a few times, but I think it was your first time, right? It's fun.
Yeah, actually, I've always heard what they are. The seats move and this and that. It was cool. It was first time experience watching an action movie like that. And, when the car's driving, like they're swerving, the seat moves. It doesn't like lift you off the
roller coaster.
No, but it moves with you. There was a couple of times where I felt like, whoa, I'm getting kind of dizzy because the screen's moving and the seat's moving. And I'm looking at you like, are we moving? What the hell?
The cool thing was, actually remember the scene where the drones flying, going side to side. Like my seat was moving.
Which is another thing. Bad Boys, they're becoming modern, I guess. They're bringing on in technology and the drones, like you said, and just making it feel like a modern action movie. So I think they're doing pretty good bringing Bad Boys forward as the franchise continues.
Yeah. So I recommend the movie, actually, to be honest with you. If you like the other Bad Boy movies, more than likely you're going to like this one. Mm-hmm. It had all the nostalgia you want. Has the same chemistry, the action, comedy, had it all. And more.
I will say that the darker humor is toned back more, maybe not the dark humor, but like the racial humor which was pretty evident there in the first two movies.
You're right. The first one had a lot.
Oh yeah,
that one had a lot.
Oh yeah.
This one, I mean, like one or two maybe.
I don't think they dropped any N-bombs, but they had, as far as I counted, racial jokes, and they were so innocent, so like elementary. They were like, oh, it was like an albino crocodile later on. And then, you know, he tries to bite one of them. That was racist. That was like, it's so innocent. It's like, you know, it's
just brush it off.
Yeah. They tone it back big time, obviously, for, you know, today's day and age humor, which kind of sucks. It kind of, for me, it didn't, at the end of the day, it was Bad Boys, but watered down bad. It was diet Bad Boys, which kind of sucks, but, you know, it is what it is. One other thing I wanted to add in, kind of like you mentioned earlier, the guys, how they're much older. Obviously, physically, you can see it on Martin Lawrence, so the dude's bigger, right? But with Will Smith in his 50s, he looks fantastic. But go a little light on the hair color there, dude. It was it was so black. It was like, it was like, you know, he looked, like he did it the night before they filmed, or I don't know, man. It was just so dark. Like, whoa. Even when
they get a chance to die filming,
it wasn't that dark when he was younger. You know, like it was evident.
Yeah. Aside from that, like, did you have any problems with the plot overall? Did it seem to flow pretty good, or did you see any plot holes in it, or something you didn't like?
No, I think it flowed pretty well. They explained the characters pretty well. The villain, they explained his motivations and who he was pretty well. I thought it was pretty well balanced. It was evenly distributed. Humor, action, comedy, all rolled in there. Even had a little bit of the whodunit, who's the you know, it had a little bit of that. It didn't feel like they did a whole lot of detective work.
Yeah, sure they do detective work, but it's like it's done quick. Mm-hmm. Like it's pretty fast the way they do it, and noticeable, yeah. But maybe they had that bad technology. Maybe I don't know. They got boom, popped up right away for them or something.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because they got the answers pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
And all the evidence they got it pretty quick as well.
Right. Oh, I guess one final note from me. It was pretty cool to see Mr. Fantastic in this movie, which you called him out. You were like, "Hey, isn't that Mr. Fantastic?" I'm like, "Yes, it is."
Mr. Reed.
What's his name? This is.
A few moments later.
How the hell do you say that? I-O-A-N. Ion. Oyan? Ion.
Eon.
Eon. Ion.
Ion.
Gruffud. Griffud.
Eon.
Mr. Fantastic.
Yes, there you go.
So he's in there. I don't see him in too many movies. It's kind of cool to see him make an appearance in this. You know, just a minor note there. Anything else you want to add before we score this thing?
No, other than, you know, it's awesome. I had a fun time. The deep box help was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm ready for it. I'm ready to score this thing.
If you're a fan of the Bad Boys franchise, I would say it's definitely worth watching in theaters. It's a good action flick. It'll make you laugh. It's worth a watch. Go check it out. What is the final score? What would you give this out of 10? 10 being the best.
I really enjoyed it, though. I'm going to go with, it kept my attention, actually. I'm going to go with 8.9.
8.9.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
That's a pretty high score.
I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. And similarly, I'm going to give it an 8.5. Yeah, I very much enjoyed myself. Yeah. First 10, 15 minutes, story building. Once you get into it, time flies.
Yeah.
So,
non-stop action, pretty much.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So Bad Boys, that's our review. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Go check it out. Let us know what you think of it.
We fly together, we die together.
What?
Oh, no. That's just something we say. It's all good. It ain't. Oh, I can see how that got y'all a little, where y'all from?